Welcome everyone to Unscripted Coding. Today we're going to use Gemini Advanced, so not AI Studio, to build a very simple app for counting, adding, subtracting numbers under 10. Um, this is obviously not for me, but for my niece and nephew. And I wanted to just show you quickly what I grew up with. When I grew up, we had these counting blocks that are like this, and they would have single blocks representing 1, 2, 3, and then stacks that represent 10, 100, 1,000, and so on. And so I think they were very helpful when I grew up. And so I wanted to build kind of a visualization, um, 3D visualization app where they are counting blocks, and we'll start with just 10, adding 1 plus 9, 2 plus 8, or smaller numbers like 2 plus 2, just keeping it within 10. And I wanted to see how Google Gemini builds this app. Now, the other reason I want to do this is because really I've been using AI Studio as well as Klein so far. But I do have Gemini Advanced, and they have a canvas to help with this. And so we're going to try and ask Gemini to create a simple web app to help children add numbers together. Let's say add and subtract numbers together that total 10 or less. The goal is to include some slick 3D visualization so they can see many cubes and how together so they can visually see the math operations. Okay, so create a simple web app to help children add and subtract numbers. I'm keeping it within 10 to make it simple. Use some slick 3D visualization so they can see their cubes, and finally so that they can visually count and see the operations. Please use Three.js for animations and try and make it look like, try and make a very sleek design UI inspired by the Disney logo colors. Okay, whatever. I wanted to give it a bit of grounding for the UI as well, just so that we have something quite nice. And I'm expecting it to do a pretty good job even on the first shot, because this isn't an overly difficult thing to do for an AI. For me, it would be quite annoying because of all the animations. Some people live and breathe that. I don't. And this is why I think this is a good opportunity. Okay, so it is building an HTML page, inputs, operation buttons. Oh, I'm gonna ask, if we have time, ask it so that they can kind of write with their fingers or stylus, so that the entry can be stylus or touch based. It's using Tailwind, Three.js as I requested, and I'm waiting for it to finish. It's still going. But let's see what these buttons do first. So it's definitely saving a version forwards and backwards. I wonder what this is. This might be console and version history. Ooh, this is not Disney inspired, but it is kind of cute. So let's see. 2, 3, let's add them. And the animation is actually pretty good. 5 and 1, and let's subtract. I see. Okay. Okay. Can you allow the user to use a stylus or touch input to write the numbers and the plus or minus sign to the into the equation, and also the animation is subtraction. Can you move it off to the side instead of the right? Okay, so I've asked it to do two things. First is that stylus or touch input. So my goal is to give my niece and nephew a tablet, and so they can kind of write 7 minus 3 equals and try and figure it out and watch the animation. But the other thing I asked it to do is for this animation right here, I didn't like that number one, it goes by very quickly, but number two, I just don't see what's happening here. They have to show me one of the blocks moved off to the side or something so that I can see visually what has happened. Because once it's kind of stood still here, especially since the animation is fast, this doesn't really explain to me what's happened. It just shows you the answer if they can count to 4. Okay, let's see the code. And honestly, the first version is already quite impressive. So I'm going to leave this going in real time just so that you can see how this all works. I am using 2.5 Pro. It's a little bit slower. We could theoretically use 2.5 Flash. And I think because this is such a simple project, that 2.5 Flash would be able to get something working. Okay. So I wanted to show you very quickly, yes, saves are changed. You can move backwards and forwards for whole versions. We can see the console, which is helpful, very helpful. I don't think I've seen that in other tools yet, like DeepSeek or OpenAI. Finally, recent changes, so we could see the diff. That's very helpful. And, oh, we can even share it. So we'll try that out later, but here, I don't see. So over here, they only did subtraction animation loop. But I can see, regarding your request for stylus or touch input to write numbers and operators, true handwriting recognition. Story time. Long time ago, I built a math application where there was stylus input, and I'm trying to think. I think I used an AI kind of model or a machine learning model to recognize the numbers. I completely forgot about that, and I thought it would be a simple task to do. So let's leave it alone for now and do the subtraction again. That's great. Let's go 3 plus 2, add. Okay. I think we're nearing the end. I'm just going to ask it to, can you slow down the animation a lot? And also, do not show the final number in the equation. My child still should count up the blocks for him herself. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone now. But I'm asking it to speed up slow down the animation so that we could see it more organically, but also not to give out the answer. And so I'm hoping that once this is done, my niece and nephew are able to kind of punch in the numbers. I will probably move it off to the side to do that stylus entry. But Gemini is actually quite right. I'm not immediately sure how I'd go about that in a very simple fashion. Um, there probably is a way, but not here. Okay, let's try 5 minus 2 this time and subtract. And I think that's quite good. And then we go 5, you know what? 5 plus 2, we'll add the 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day because I think this is a workable demonstration that Gemini whipped up in 10 minutes or so. And we'll see. This is a good MVP, and then I'll see if my nephew and niece find it helpful. From there, I can expand it to beyond 10. I can try and work on the stylus if they find it helpful. But I have found that AI, especially with these kind of JavaScript animations, are incredibly helpful because when I was going through university and high school, it was a real challenge. Some of the, say, calculus or some of the graphs are incredibly difficult to understand, and you have these textbooks that just print out a very difficult to understand chart. This is way, way, way easier. Everything is better when it's interactive. And something I want to do next, after I wrap up, is see if I can pan around the camera angle. Anyways, I will see you next week with another quick project. Thanks for watching. Bye.